everyone, thanks for tuning in and Happy New Year. This is the first time I'm choosing a word for the year, so I'm sharing that with you today and thought it would be great to share this step-by-step video for how to write the word believe. Today I'm using my favorite writing utensil, which is a Sharpie Fine Tip Pen. Before we get started, please subscribe and hit that like button, and if you chose a word for the year, please feel free to share in the comments as well. I'm starting off with the letter B, and just notice how I'm drawing this. It almost looks like one big loop, and then I'm leaving space at the bottom for that last loop at the end. As we're writing each letter, I want you to notice where we're bringing the pen in a downward motion. This will come into play in the next step when we write or draw the letter one more time, and you notice where we're bringing the pen in that downward motion. Again with that very first downward loop, and then over the top. This is where we're drawing our extra horizontal line and where we'll fill in the lines to make it look like we're actually doing calligraphy or hand lettering. I'm speeding up the video here, but you can see how I'm filling in those lines that we just drew in to make it look like calligraphy. This is a little bit tough right now because it is a fine point pen, so it's taking me a little extra long today, but feel free to pause the video or fast forward here and you can work at your own pace. Next, we're moving on to the letter E, which is honestly one big downward motion. So we just have one area of the letter where we are going to draw the extra downward line, and that's where we'll fill it in. I would like to call out E is a letter with what we call a rounded face. This will come into play when we connect all the letters together at the end of the video. Now with the L, this is basically one gigantic letter E. Notice though, I'm starting it off a little bit lower so it looks like a longer version of the letter E, or a little bit taller. And this just has one downward motion where I've pointed out right here. Draw those extra lines and fill them in. I'm realizing now that all the letters in this word are pretty simple. We're moving on to the letter I now, which again is one downward motion. So you just have one area where you're drawing the extra line. However, with the I, notice that I'm drawing an extra horizontal line to make it look thicker, right in the corner. And last but not least, we will draw or write the letter V. And again, this is just one downward motion, and this looks pretty simple, just like the letter I, and previously what we did with the letter E and L. But this time again, I'm drawing that extra horizontal line in addition to make it look a little bit thicker. And then I'm coloring this in as well. This probably seems a little repetitive and very time consuming. However, I want to stress the importance of practice because practice makes perfect. And finally, we're going to connect all the letters together. So first, starting with the letter B, remember how we drew that earlier, but pick up your pen because E has what we call the rounded face. That makes it easier to connect. Pick up your pen and draw or write the letter L, then move on to the letter I. One more time, making sure you pick up your pen to draw or write the letter E, then move into V. And this time around, I didn't connect it just because this is the way I would like the word to look, and wrote E on its own. Now, go back through each individual letter and draw your extra lines where you would like to make it look like calligraphy. Again, these are the areas where we drew the letter or wrote the letter in a downward motion, and this is where it will look thicker. Last but not least, take your time and fill in all those extra areas where we drew the extra lines, and you'll have a beautiful masterpiece at the very end. Again, be sure to take your time, practice makes perfect, and don't get mad at yourself if you mess up. This is a work in progress, and it took me a lot of years to master my own style and technique. So here we go. This is Believe, my 2021 word of the year. Be sure to like and subscribe. And like I said, if you have a word of the year, be sure to put it in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching.